Nottingham Forest on Sunday is one of the most important football matches Tottenham Hotspur will ever play. A six-pointer at the bottom of the Premier League, meaning it is essential that we build on our momentum and get the 3 points. Today, I'm going to be going into the lineup that I want to see, the players, the form, the everything, and let's get straight into it. So, in terms of the actual lineup that I want to see, it can be laid out here. I'm going to come on to why I'm saying Kinski in just a moment, because news has come out that Vicario is going to have a minor surgery, and so that it is unlikely that he will be playing against Nottingham Forest. Obviously, I do want to kind of play a back five with these two, and then Simmons playing as a number 10 role with these two up top. Obviously, Mickey van der Ven and Romero kind of essential. They are the leader-like players, or so they should be. They are our two best defenders for sure, and so they do need to be in the team. I do prefer Danso over Dragson. Udogie has obviously just come back from injury, and he was showing some positive signs at the end against Atletico Madrid after being subbed on. Porro, I think, should always start on the right. Archie Gray and Pat Matsar can never fault them in that midfield, always giving it their all. And Archie Gray especially had a brilliant game against Atletico Madrid last game, so there we are, he is playing. Xavi Simmons, I would obviously love at 10. He hasn't been playing too much under Igor Tudor recently, or at least starting too much under Igor Tudor recently, but hopefully his brace against Atletico Madrid can obviously convince Tudor that he does deserve this role, where he can play nice and freely, where he can score his beautiful goals and play like he always should. Obviously, then Tell always giving it his all last game. It was great to see him all over the pitch last game. He had chances down the left wing where he almost scored after a beautiful bit of play that we had. He also was coming over on this right side of the pitch where he also crossed in a beautiful ball into Kolo Muani, who finished it off very nicely. So there are lots of things which obviously we could say about the players we've mentioned so far. And then finally, obviously, Richarlison, a goal scorer. He scores goals, and that's what a striker needs to do. And so that is the team that I would like to see us play on Sunday. Of course, with the players that we now have on the bench, we will have Kolo Muani, probably Solanke, Bergvall has come back, Palhinha will be back, and obviously also Spence, if he isn't in the starting lineup. That is pretty hopeful, and I'm pretty hopeful that this team can get a good win. Now, obviously, we do need to come on to the fact that it does look like, at the moment, Vicario will not be participating in this game against Forest on Sunday. He's currently going over a minor surgery, and it's saying that it is hoped that he could return to action within the next month, which obviously means that Anthony Nkitski is set to finish the season as Tottenham's first-choice goalkeeper. But obviously, you could take that with a bit of pinch of salt. There hasn't been too much confirmed just yet, but obviously we don't know who's going to start in goal just yet, but it does look like Kinski will be starting, and obviously after that horror game which he did have against Atletico Madrid, or that horror 16 minutes, I really hope, not only for Tottenham but for him, that he has a good game. Hopefully he can bounce back and he can come back on his redemption arc kind of thing. So that's cool. And this obviously can also be paired with some really good team news, as I just mentioned as well. Obviously not just for the Forest game, but as I did mention, Solanke will be available, Palhinha back in training, Kudus Bentancur will be back soon after the Forest game, so that is good. And now we should take a look at Forest injuries. It doesn't really compare to ours at the moment, of course, because we have Ben Davies injured, Kudus injured, Bentancur injured, Odegaard out for the season, Bissouma, Madison and Kulusevski all injured, but they do have some injuries as well. Nicolo Savona, Willy Bowley, they also have Chris Wood injured, who is a goal scorer for them. So they do have some injuries, but not the same amount as us, that is for sure. And now it is very important also to look at Nottingham Forest results. And obviously, recently, our momentum has been building. We scored a 90th minute equaliser against Liverpool. We got a last minute winner against Atletico Madrid, a beautiful performance against Atletico Madrid, and so we are currently riding on some momentum. However, you can't really say the same for Forest. They have not been doing too well, whether it be, well, mainly in the Premier League, of course. They lost to Leeds, they drew to Wolves, they lost to Liverpool, they lost to Brighton, they did sneak a draw at City, so fair play to them, and then they drew to Fulham, 0-0. So they haven't been scoring too many goals at all, but they also have been losing games as well, and no wins at all in these last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Premier League games. Obviously in Europe they have been progressing, but they had to go to penalties to beat Midtjylland in the Europa League. I was actually watching that penalty shootout yesterday. Poor Midtjylland missing 3 penalty kicks. But yeah, so the point is their momentum has been really rough. They haven't been going through too many wins at all, especially in the Premier League, which we are of course playing in. Another thing which we do have to mention, of course, is the fact that we are playing at home. And yes, we have been, I think, 26 home games unbeaten in Europe, but in the Premier League, our home form is the worst in the league, which is very concerning. But hopefully, with all the organised kind of welcoming the coaches, with all the atmosphere that there will be on Sunday, hopefully we can drive that team over to hopefully get that win on Sunday. And it's just so important. And I am feeling hopeful, but there is also this part of me that's thinking, what actually happens if we lose? And obviously, it is terrible if we do lose. We only need to look at the table. We all know, yeah, we're only 1 point above relegation. This is the truth of the matter right here. Leeds are getting themselves sucked into it as well, and we are still yet to play Leeds for the second time this season. We are playing them at home later on this season, so hopefully we can get a win there. But we're only 1 point above relegation. If we lose on Sunday and West Ham win as well, then we're in relegation. That is as simple as the situation is. If we lose and West Ham win, we're in relegation zone. So I am hopeful, but it is terribly worrying if we do end up losing this game. And so there is a lot of pressure on the players, of course. There is a lot of pressure, but the point is as well, we are riding on some momentum. And I am hopeful for the reason that, yes, we did get knocked out of Europe, but it was a win. We actually played well for the first time in ages. We got a draw at Liverpool. The players that we have actually playing with are actually showing a lot more fight. Obviously, this is the team which I've mentioned I would like to see on Sunday, but our actual squad is showing a lot more fight. Also, with the positive team news that we are now receiving, I feel like these players may get an extra boost from the team news, from the connection with the fans, the fact that we're playing well. Igor Tudor's now becoming more popular amongst the fan base, and the fact that we're playing Nottingham Forest. Yes, it's a relegation battle, but they haven't been on the best form either. So I think if we could take advantage of all these things, boost our confidence, really get these 3 points and start building that gap between us and the relegation zone, then absolutely brilliant. If we could do that, I really hope we can. And also, our injury list, yes, it's huge, but it is significantly decreased from the last few games, which is good. We have our suspended players back, so that is great as well. And that is the video for today. Obviously, it is going to be an absolutely nerve-wracking game. I feel ill even thinking about it, but I've laid out my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think, by the way. Any future things that you guys would like to see in future videos as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, I've mentioned everything, my hopeful lineup, the team news, the overall squad news, the form, the stats, the everything, the Premier League table. And yeah, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, come on you Spurs, and please, let's get those 3 points come Sunday.